Birth. Yes, I know my worth. Go hard, put in the work, cause I come first, and I ain't even need your help. I put the work in. Put the work in. Put the work in. You gotta do it for yourself. Put the work in. I heard you looking for results.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another tournament breakdown presented by Midway USA. You can thank them for bringing these videos to you guys. These are not a replacement of the BMP Fishing the Series videos. We get that comment or that question a lot. These are just in addition to those videos, more of a technical breakdown of how I caught them, what I caught them on, and what I was looking for on the body of water. So this week, we are talking all things St. Lawrence River. Had a really good week that week, but just made some poor decisions as the event went on that had us end up finishing in 25th place, which normally would be a really good finish. But on the St. Lawrence River, that's actually my worst finish I've ever had there. So a lot of things to learn from that, but I kept it very simple. Kind of went in with the same approach that I do. I don't need a lot of rods when I go there. I know what I'm gonna do, and then it's just a matter of finding the right size and quality of fish to be able to have a really good event. So this week, those fish were offshore and they were shallow, with the majority of the big ones actually being shallow, and that's where I messed up. I didn't give enough credit to those shallow fish, and I thought they were going to transition to deep water a lot faster than they did, and I caught myself fishing a lot more history than what I should have. I started checking places that maybe I didn't even check in practice, where I knew those fish would get as they transitioned to deeper water. And there were fish showing up there, but it was like the 3 and the 3.5 pounders were showing up there first before the 4.5s and the 5s and the 6s showed up. So really two-rod approach this week. Number one being a drop shot setup, which you guys have heard me talk about many times at the St. Lawrence River. And this is an Alpha Angler DSR, which is a 610 medium action rod. And we paired up with the Daiwa Exist 3000, spooled up with Flash Green Seagar Smackdown 15-pound braid. I like that really thin braid. It's going to give you better casting distance, and that braid is going to manage really well on the spinning rod. And then this week we were pairing it up with 8-pound Seagar Gold Label. So tie it with a Crazy Alberto knot, braid to fluoro. That 8-pound Gold Label, super thin, but yet super strong and durable. So when you're around the zebra mussels, the rocks, you still need that abrasion resistance. And then tying it up to a number 1 VMC Redline drop shot hook and a X-Zone hot shot minnow. That has been a big key player for me since we launched it at the Classic this year. Caught a ton of fish, largemouth spots, smallmouth on it. And then I was going back and forth between 2 weights. So I would have 4 or 5 drop shot rods set up, and really the only difference would be the weight size and the bait that was on it, and then really just different colors. Some situations I would swap back and forth. When I was fishing shallow, I like the 1/4 ounce. Sometimes I even go down to an 1/8 when those fish are real skittish and they're in 3-4 foot of water. And I was actually sight fishing a lot of those fish and leading those fish. That's very important. You want your bait to lead those fish, not land right on top of them. And so what I would do is kind of get up there on those flats and search with my eyeballs to where I could see those fish. The water's super clear, and we had prime time conditions for it. No wind, sun, every day of the event. So you're able to see a lot of those really shallow fish, and I could catch them on that drop shot. So it was either green pumpkin blue, X-Zone hot shot minnow, or big limit. Those are really my 2 go-to smallmouth colors for most situations. Then the other key was a black marabou hair jig. I have that one actually on the Alpha Angler spy bait rod, which is a 7.2 medium. That extra length and tip allows you to cast those really light baits, right? Whether it's a hair jig or a spy bait. But then it also gives you really good control when those fish eat it way out there. And outside of that, my setup's pretty much exactly the same. I've got it on the Daiwa Exist 3000. I've got the 15-pound flash green Seaguar Smackdown braid and tied up to an 8-pound Seaguar Gold Label leader. So I keep pretty much my reel and my line never changes on a spinning rod. I keep that very simple. It's tried and true, and I've just won a ton of money on that. I've got a lot of confidence in that no matter what technique I'm fishing. The deal with this was that when I'd get on those flats and I was looking for those fish, I would pick up the hair jig and I would blind cast it out there. And you would a lot of times get those fish to follow, and they would either eat the hair jig or they would peel off of it, and then I could reel in, pick up the drop shot and lead those fish. And it seemed like as soon as they kind of got out of sight is when you had the best chance at being able to catch those fish. And you want to stay on those fish. Don't be afraid to follow some of those smallmouth, because they'll peel off and you're able to kind of follow them, you know, almost track them, hunt them down and catch those fish. So it didn't matter if I was deep or shallow. Those were the two setups that I was throwing this week. Finishing up in 25th. A good week by most standards, but obviously not satisfying for me at the St. Lawrence River. I hold myself to very high standards there. Looking forward to getting back there again in 2023. I'd like to make another top 10 and have a shot to win there. So make sure you guys check out midwayusa.com for all this tackle, and we will catch you guys on the next one.